A lot of people, the main reason people aren't rich, there's probably three primary reasons. They're either lazy, they're arrogant, or they're stupid. I think lazy is actually quite a small contingent, because I think a lot of people get out here and they work very hard to a degree. Like, even if you're a trash man, that's still work. You're working hard, you're just not making any money. And also, I think if you could show somebody how to make money, a lot of people would do it. I don't think they're that lazy. If you say, look, press this button for money, they're not gonna go, no, I don't want to pay golf. All right, okay. They're just lazy to find out how, perhaps. But once they know how, they'll do it. Stupid, I think, is also a very small percentage. I think that stupid is a small percentage because I don't think that IQ, in fact, it's been proven, IQ has nothing to do with how successful you are. Very rich people, very smart people are broke. Very dumb people are rich. Like, so I don't think that stupid is the reason people aren't rich. The reason 98% of people aren't rich is because they're brutally arrogant. And I say that because you will stand up and say, I'm going to do an event and I'm going to teach you how to make real estate. And people will look at you with all your success and go, what is he fucking not worth my time? You're the millionaire. They ain't. Yeah, you know, I saw him on TikTok. He's full of shit. How arrogant, genuinely arrogant in your soul must you be as an individual to look at people who are massively successful, all the credentials and all the proof, all the things they talk about, and believe for some reason you're too good to listen to. Yeah. That's just arrogance. If Mike Tyson walked in here and said he's gonna teach me how to punch, even though I'm already a kickboxing world champion, I'd listen. It's Mike Tyson. If Beethoven walked in, resurrected, and walked in and said, teach me piano, I'd listen. But if I sit there and say, look, this is how you make money, there's a large contingent of people out here who go, yeah, but you know what, Tate, I don't like him. I don't ask you to like me. I'm telling you how to make money. Like, they're just arrogant. People are brutally arrogant, and it holds them back. They refuse to fucking learn or listen to anything. And they're dummies. A bunch of fucking dummies. And arrogance is the reason 98% of people don't have any money. That's why they're just fucking arrogant. The world is hyper competitive. If you're gonna be a man who's gonna sit and say, I'm just sad, you are always gonna lose in competition to men like me. And there has to be losers for there to be winners. I am tired of sympathy. Sympathy doesn't work for anybody. I'm not gonna sit here and be sympathetic for people who say they're too sad to try hard and do their best. Guess what? Perhaps I was sad every time I did exactly what I was supposed to do and trained anyway. Perhaps I was afraid when I fought anyway. Perhaps I was tired when I worked anyway. This is how you get ahead in life. I don't have a fucking ounce of sympathy for these people who sit here and say, well, I feel this way, so I can't. Then don't do it. Stay down there. The winners are at the top, and the winners at the top don't give a shit about how they feel. We wake up and we perform regardless of how we feel day after day. So if I'm gonna ignore my own feelings, I'm certainly not gonna take into consideration anybody else's. Yeah. Why am I gonna ignore how I feel and make sure I'm constantly performing regardless, flawlessly, and then sit and go, oh, but he doesn't feel good, so he's allowed to fuck up. No, you are not. You're not allowed to fuck up to your ancestors or to God or to yourself. You have to perform. This is what being a man is about. The baseline of masculinity is doing things you don't feel like doing. I can't comment on being a woman because I'm not one. But the baseline of masculinity as a whole is the thing that makes a good man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. We didn't want to die in the Titanic. Guess what happened? We died in the Titanic. You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless. Yeah. So when a man sits there and says, oh, but you don't understand, I'm struggling with motivation. If you are struggling with the motivation to be a winner, then stay a fucking loser. No problem. Stay a loser. Don't care. Because in my circle, there's no losers around me. Your energy is disgusting. I find it revolting. I don't like weakness around me, even near me. Even people coming up saying hello to me. If you're depressed, don't even shake my hand. I do not have time for losers on any regard. Winners only.
Yeah. Now, what's your biggest fear?
I don't like the ocean. I think that the best thing you can possibly do as a man is prepare for the endless difficulty that's going to come your way. There's no way out as a man. You're either gonna have a very difficult life to become somebody important, or you're gonna suffer the difficulty of being invisible. What do you wanna do? You wanna be invisible and just hide and work in Starbucks and never have a girlfriend who truly loves you and nobody care if you live or die? Or do you wanna go out there and be top G and be the most famous man in the world and have government agencies trying to lock you up for no reason, putting you in a dungeon? You have to make a choice. It's gonna be difficult either way. So I think if you have a son and you're not preparing him for absolute difficulty, you're doing him a disservice. I think that's what has to happen as a man. And I've said this many times before, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't think many people understand exactly how competitive the masculine world is. Men are constantly in competition with each other. We always have been. We used to go to war and fight and kill each other. I guess in some places we still do. Maybe that's calmed down a little bit. But in the masculine world of today, everybody is constantly competing for everything. The car that you want, other people want. The woman you want, other people want. The house you want, other people want. You're competing to have all of it. And how do you do that? You do that through status and money and influence and power. It's war. It's at the back. But if you don't give a man struggle, look what he becomes. Tell me the kind of man, if I were to say to you, imagine a man who's never struggled in his life. Physically, mentally, everything's gone perfect for him. He's born in the royal family, everything's been perfect for him his whole life. Is that the kind of man anybody respects? Is that the kind of man anyone wants to be? And struggle is subjective, right? So Prince Harry dealing with his current problems of his wife nagging, to him, that's full mental breakdown, right? My problems are obviously much larger, but struggle is subjective. To us, they're almost on the same level, but if you were to compare them side by side, they're absolutely nothing. So as a man, you have to build resilience, and you build resilience through going through something and building a tolerance to it. And this guy's had such a privileged life that he's ended up a miserable, depressed, unhappy person. So this is what's actually very interesting. When men come to me or young boys come to me and talk about something bad that happened to them, I say, good. Absolutely and utterly good. You should be glad that thing happened to you, because that's the reason you're going to be the man who can resist the perils of life in the future. If bad things don't happen to you, you're going to end up like Prince Harry. You do want to end up like that dude, do you?
No one does.
Yeah, exactly. So your life's going to be so easy. You're going to get to the end result and your wife's just going to wreck you. So you need to have all these bad things happen to you so you build the mental resilience. And that's another thing about masculinity and males as a whole. We're trying to take that all away from them in almost every regard. And it's kind of like, there used to be like rites of passage where a boy would become a man. That's all gone. There used to be this masculine, very healthy peer pressure to be big and strong, and that's all gone. There used to be, I don't want to use the wrong words. I don't want to get attacked for it, but men used to not pick on each other, not bully each other, but hey, you can't do push-ups, you're weak. We'd push each other in that way, shame each other to excellence almost. We still do it to this day in this house. Tristan's bigger than me. He's 10 kilo bigger than me, 6'4". I'm 6'3". I'm smaller. He'll bench 160, 170 kilo. I can only bench like 150 kilo. He'll call me a for 3 hours. Like, that's just how we are. So I have to get up and try again. That's how men are.
Women are too. And that's what I'm really against. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm super against this parenting structure where you don't want anybody's feelings to get hurt. I'm one of 3 sisters. We're a year and a half apart. We tried to kill each other. You know what I mean? All I would do is call my sister. No one has called her ugly or more. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're ugly, you're this, you're fat, da, da, da. That's actually good. Yep. You know, it makes you tougher. And when you see these only children who've never gone through anything, their parents told them they were perfect and wonderful. Yep. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't trade my childhood me and my sisters trying to kill each other, every single day.
Life's difficult.
Over a t-shirt.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. Life is always going to be difficult. It doesn't matter how much you try and shelter your children, how rich you are, what family they're born into. Life is going to be difficult. And if there is no struggle in their life, they're going to find struggle, or something that shouldn't be a struggle will become a struggle for them because their life has been so sheltered, and life is hard. So if you can't avoid the difficulty, you may as well get very good at it. You may as well get good at difficulty.